Okay, so today I'll be giving you all a public relations case, a prompt, basically having 5 candidates applying for a job. Your position as the employer, you're looking for a candidate who has a PR background, so to speak, and who you feel is the best candidate, who's the best candidate in the pack. And we had you rate each candidate 1 to 5. And see which one you chose and who chose what. Okay, so Michelle, we're going to go ahead and start with you.
I chose Bill Chambers, and I chose him because even though he does not have a PR background, I feel as though with his resume being so versatile that he'd be able to bring a whole new different type of light to the company. And I feel that it also shows that he is able to do more than just what a regular PR specialist would do. Like, he has talents from other jobs that he can bring to my business. I feel as though it also he has a great personality, so who doesn't like bringing somebody who's creative, versatile, and has a good personality?
Does anybody feel the same way about Bill Chambers?
I like the guy Bill Chambers because he sounds interesting and sounds more intact with his job. Scott Jameson, I like him because his background seems really, really cool, you know, and I like it. He's a hard worker. Lin Chung, well, wait a minute. I have no interest in him. That's all.
I'm going to have to also go with Bill Chambers. If you got a great personality, that's going to be really good for PR work. And although he would need 30% higher salary, it's probably best to have someone come in who can really do well based on his resume and all of his success stories. That might be more beneficial in the long run for the company as a whole.
I personally think Lin Chung would probably be more appropriate for the job. It says that the founder of the company is recommending him and that he believes that Lin is capable of handling the PR director position. So that probably means that he'd be good for the job if the founder's saying he could do it. The other thing is he's married to the founder's daughter who is just got cancer, I guess, so I don't know, it sounds like he needs it more than maybe some of the other ones.
I also chose Bill Chambers. Although he doesn't have that much of a PR background, he has solid credentials that's necessary for the position, such as a great personality and a strong resume. And I also chose him because, according to the prompt, everything he touches turns into gold. So that shows me that he's a hard worker, he's dedicated, and he gets the job done.
All right, well, it looks like people are kind of leaning towards Mr. Bill Chambers here. Anybody have a second choice that they want to show? Explain?
I think that I would choose Jane Phillips next because she's well known in her field and she's applied for the position as well. So I think that with being able to have a lot of socialized... Wait, no, that's not what I meant to say.
I'll go.
I chose Jane Phillips as my second option because she's well known in her field, and being well known in your field is always a great trait to have because then she'll be able to bring people who have better positions or better business into our business, becoming like partners or make something good happen. Even though she's difficult to work with, I think anybody who's difficult to work with can eventually outgrow those bad tendencies, and I think at the end of the day she could become a great asset to the company.
Okay. All right, anybody else want to share their number 2?
Yes, well, my number 2 was different. I will have to go for Scott Jameson, and the reason I chose him is because he's been working for me for 10 years, so I know his weaknesses, I know his strengths. He, of course, he's been working with me for 10 years, so he has a very strong background for this position. Although he does have a reputation of making sexual acts with female colleagues, I feel that we can work past that. Like I said, said, he's been working with me for 10 years, and I don't think that it's got really back to the point where it's made someone extremely uncomfortable. And he's very productive at the job too, so that's why I chose Scott.
Okay, that's cool. All right. I mean, just keep discussing it. I mean, it's something that.
I mean, I think I would choose as a third choice Tanya Ruiz just because I feel as though she has a master's in PR, and she presents herself in a sharp manner, and she has really good interpersonal communication skills, and those are great traits to have. The only thing that I think that limits her from this job, or wouldn't want me to make her be an employee here, is the fact that she wants me to find her family a job, and I feel as though that's not my position. So that's something that's within their own personal life that they need to figure out. So I don't really want to bring on baggage of a person I'm not even going to be working with.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also agree with Michelle a lot because I chose her third because she has a master's in PR, so that does show that she has a strong background. And if I'm going to hire someone from, the only downfall is that if I'm going to hire someone from my company, she shouldn't expect anything from me. I should expect things from her because she's working for my company. And finding jobs for her family is their problem, not mine. You leave your problems outside of the door. Although this situation is unfortunate, she comes to work for me. All my expectations are with her. She shouldn't expect anything from me, just to be her boss.
Oh, okay.
I think the least favorite one would be my, well actually I'm a little bit tied between Scott Jameson and Lynn Chung on the least favorites.
Okay.
And that's only because even though Scott's been working in the department for 10 years now, the fact that he has rumors and negative energy around him about sexual advances, I feel as though it could bring negative light to my company and eventually a lawsuit.
Okay.
And I don't need that type of publicity coming to my company. But on the other hand, Lynn Chung is, recommended by the founder of the company, which is great, but he's not here, so he doesn't really know what she's capable of doing. So that kind of just hinders that decision. And then on top of that, it's like she's married to the founder's daughter, who's recently diagnosed with cancer. So it's kind of like, I don't know if that recommendation is to help them, have something positive come into their life because of what's going on in their personal life, or is it because, he feels bad or just some family issues. I just feel like, I don't know if that recommendation is genuine on the fact that she's a hardworking, good employee who could bring so much to my company.
Okay, and so now let's backtrack to Scott Jameson. With her explanation of Scott Jameson's downfalls, would that now further hinder you and make you change your opinion on hiring him as your second option?
No, because I feel like we can work around that sexual events. Because, for example, Jane Phillips, she's very difficult to work with, and she wants me to relocate my company. That's my company, and she wants to. She'll bring prestige and visibility to my firm, but she has to be able to see my vision.
Okay.
I feel that Scott will be a lot more easier to work with Jane because I can give Scott warnings like, hey, if you keep intimidating all these women or making all these sexual advances, you're out of here. But as far as Jane, I just can't work with anyone that's very hard to work with. This is my firm, not yours.
Okay. Okay. And now for those were your last two choices. That was Scott and Lynn Chung. Mm-hmm. Now, what is your opinion, Jamila, on Lynn Chung?
Lynn Chung, he was the last person I chose because he is no longer part of the activities of the company. So I felt that we didn't really need him. Like, although it is great that he mentors a lot of the people or the executives that work there. It is great, but although he helped mentor people, I feel that we didn't need him around because the founder's daughter was diagnosed with cancer, and I feel that he probably won't be in his right state of mind. So I feel that if you're going to mentor somebody, you need to be in the right state of mind. And he probably won't be there anyway because he might need time to take off just to get his stuff together. Just for the sake of the firm.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate your input. This
No
is
problem.
extremely helpful, and I look forward to working with y'all again. This is awesome. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.